This video looks at how to set your window when you're going to graph a couple of equations. So what we're going to do is go ahead and enter those equations. So we can see here a band plans to record a demo. Studio A rents for $100 plus $50 per hour. So here's our 100 plus $50 an hour. And then Studio B rents for $50 right here plus $75 an hour. The total cost Y in dollars of running the studios for X hours can be modeled by the linear system. So here's our linear system, and let's go ahead and put in the 50x plus 100 and then 75x plus 50. So usually what we just start with is do zoom 6 to set our standard window and see if we see anything. So we always see one equation go up and then we don't see anything else. So this isn't helpful. We need to see, oh, there's the other one. So we need to kind of get a feel for what's going on here. And we can see here our y numbers are pretty large. So we could use a substitution method and just set them equal to each other. But again, you can also try graphing once you get comfortable with setting the windows. So if I put in 0 for x, I'd already be at 100 for y. If I put in 1, I'd be at 150. 2 would be 200. And this one, of course, would be large too, but this one's large, so we'll think about that. So let's go ahead and go to our window. And then remember, if you feel like you've kind of just messed up your window and you're not sure where to go, you can always go back to Zoom 6 and set it and try again. So we're up to 200 with 2, so maybe if we went up to 10, we would see that we're about 600. So let's go ahead and try 600 for our max. We're going to leave x alone for a second and see if we can get something going by doing this. And then since 600 is so large, we're going to want to make these increments large. So let's try going by 50 with our scale. And then what we can do is go ahead and hit graph. And see if we see anything. And we do. So once you see the intersection, you know that that you're fine. So then you just do second calc, intersect, enter, 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 whoops, second calc, intersect, there we go, enter, 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 and then we see it intersects at 2, 200. Let's go back to Zoom 6 again. And again, we didn't see anything happening here. We know we'd have to get bigger numbers. Sometimes you can just try zoom, and then choose out, which is 3. So what it'll do is it'll make it bigger, but you'll see that nothing happens until you hit enter. And then the red one showing up, there's the red one. So we're still not seeing them intersect yet, so we could try zoom out one more time. And this isn't always the most efficient way, but it could give you an idea of what's going on. So see our blue, see our red, so we can tell that our x-axis is much too big. So we can go into window, and let's cut this back. So again, if we're not sure what we're doing, we can just kind of guess our way through it. So I put in 100, still too big, and I got a lot of wasted space over here. And I know by the context of the problem, I don't need any negative numbers. So let's go back to window again, and let's try changing our x-min to 0, and let's cut our x-max to 50, and let's try going in increments of 5 and see if we get anything better. Now again, let's see. We don't want any negative for y, so let's try 0 and we'll graph. And then we see a little bit here, so maybe our x isn't our problem. We're not going high enough on this y-axis, so we can go back to window again, and let's try something much larger. And again, you can go back and plug in 10 to see what's going on over here. And again, we want to go closer to 600. I'm going to try 500 and going by 50. Let's see if that helps us. So again, there's a couple ways to approach it. And then we do see our intersection. If you want to see it better, you can see again we have a lot of wasted space here. So we can cut our X down again to 10. And with being that small, we're going to want to go by ones. And let's try graphing again. And then we clearly see our intersection. So don't be afraid to try things. And again, if you get to a point where it's just not working or you feel like you need to start again, go ahead and hit Zoom 6.